we are now going to be having another interesting fireside chat. This one is going to be about measuring ROI in digital marketing, challenges, opportunities, and best practices. I'll repeat the topic for the fireside chat right now. This is going to be about measuring ROI in digital marketing, challenges, opportunities, and best practices. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be inviting our moderator first on stage, and then I'm going to be introducing our speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, to moderate the session we have with us today, once again, the pleasure of having with us today Lawrence Suchitha, Vice President, Growth and Strategy, India, Teamology, Softech, and Media Services. Sir just moderated a session right now, and I request sir to please kindly join me on stage once again. And to accompany him on stage, we have Harkawal Singh, VP Marketing, RSPL, and Shirish Joshi, Founding Leadership Team Member, ONDC. Can I have our honorable speakers on stage as well, alongside our moderator? Ladies and gentlemen, huge round of applause for all of them together as they join me on stage. So much, sir, and once again, over to you.
Thank you so much. We had some very interesting conversations outside. I think we're just going to continue it for everyone here. So, mastering ROI in digital marketing, challenges, opportunities, and best practices. And I feel it couldn't have been a better set of panelists whom I'm discussing with currently. So, my first question collectively goes to both of you. Shirish, your experience in ONDC, also your experience in RSPL. What do you see as the most significant shift in how we should be measuring digital marketing ROI, right? Compared to say 5 years back, half a decade back, we were not doing that much. But and how much has these shifts impacted your strategic decision making? Both of you all, because ROI is something that we've been hearing all our lives, right from the time that digital is coming. And we are penalized for it many times we are picked up for it, and we are the go-to guys. So, yes, Shri, sir.
Check. So my answer is less about ONDC, because ONDC is more an infrastructure for commerce, and much more my past experience and recent ones with brands that do digital marketing. And I would actually flip the question a little bit, that I see a shift towards how it should not be done. So whatever shift is taking place, at the very simplest form, brands are part of a business. A company has business, and the business runs through brands. Each brand has a P&L, as a company has a P&L, and that P&L, there is a growth objective, and there is a pool of money available to achieve that growth. ROI has to be about what is the best use of that money for growth. Now, the use of that money will be digital, will be non-digital, will take many forms. It will take the form of advertising, it will take the form of content, it will take the form of PR, it will take many forms. But the goal of that should be, in the end, to drive brand growth. What is taking place is, because of the strength and increasing dominance of e-commerce activities, a lot of what used to be marketing spend is becoming sales spend. It's still being called marketing, but it is marketing spend being done inside a sales channel for the purposes of pushing through items of sale. And therefore, the shift is taking place not in brand building. So ROI for sales spend is fairly straightforward. What is the discount you offered? What is the growth you got? And did that pay out or did that not play out? But I think what people are also not being able to judge is what sale would have happened anyway. So if let's say the 2 bottles of water here, I want to buy bottles of water, I'll buy them because I'm thirsty. And then somebody offers me a 10% discount. Hey, I'm happy. I just picked it up. I would have bought it anyway. So a lot of spend is going for purchases that might have happened anyway. So I think the ROI that is not taking place, a lot of ROI is being judged through a term called ROS, how much did I spend and how much revenue got done. But that truly is not ROI. So what's being judged is what is being spent and what traffic has been generated or what items have been sold. But not enough is being done either on long-term value that's being contributed to the brand. Second, how much of it is driving overall growth versus an activity growth. So you're measuring clicks, you're measuring traffic, you're measuring footfalls, but are you measuring the eventual impact? And are you able to filter out what sale would have happened anyway to be able to judge how much is the waste? So I think marketing ROI could do with a lot of serious thinking and recrafting.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I think Sirish has opened up a Pandora's box. And honestly, I'll try to keep it simple. At the end of the day, ROI is what return you are getting. It's a P&L. The last, fact sheet is a P&L. Whether it is at a brand level, let's say at a business level or at a corporate level, at a unit level, that is at the end of the day whether the bottom line is black or red, I say so. What Sirish said was interesting. So, let's say in the offline world, your marketing and your sales spend or ROI is very clearly demarcated. So is it in online also, though we sometimes, as he said, sales spends are put as marketing spends. The change that as you are asking, earlier your entire marketing spend was at a cohort level. What today, and your sales spend was more at a channel level. Today your sales spend is at a consumer level. So digital allows you, technology allows you to measure or even to execute a certain activity, whether it is a discount offer or whether it is a top funnel brand building activity at a as the previous panelist said, at a level of one consumer. So that opportunity is available, and hence, is it sales, is it marketing, is something that we can debate till the cows come home. But that is a reality today, and hence, if you ask old timers or go by classical marketing, a lot of what we call is digital marketing basically is getting that bottom funnel, that conversion, that sale, purchase, happening, and hence it is a subset of marketing investment. So today in digital marketing, bulk of the spend is happening on performance marketing, and relatively lower saliency is there on the top funnel. So that is one change. I think the other change which has happened in the last 4-5 years in digital marketing is the availability of the bottom funnel. Earlier, your entire commerce play, digital has been there. So let's say 10, 11 years back when I started my digital marketing journey with Dabur, the task was one. Number of likes kitni badhani hai, fan base kitna badhana hai. So that was the target, and every media company used to come, we can do. Algorithms were such that your content used to get dispensed to a larger number of ways. Today, you have to spend to kind of get your message across to people. So earlier, the bottom of the funnel, that entire ecosystem was kind of exclusive because those who had their, let's say, D2C channels or their websites where commerce transaction could have been done, and the infra did not support that much. The infra is supporting to do a commerce transaction. That is, I think, one big difference which has happened for marketers. Earlier, it was all about top of the funnel or middle of the funnel. Today, that is one change in the last 5 years. That the entire marketing effort you can correlate, with the bottom of the funnel, whether it is, cost per lead, lead generated, sold, query raised, or whatever is a matrix for whichever campaign, sector, market-wise, category-wise it differs. So that is one of the biggest, I would say, changes that have happened over the last 5 years.
Thank you. In fact, staying with you, Dr. Sir. So, where brand perception and long-term customer relationships are crucial, which you just told us, and you also told us how you balance it. So, how do you measure ROI on the less tangible aspects, but vital aspects of branding in your digital strategies? We would love to know, because you are taking care of the FMCG bit.
So I would say, if it is a standalone online business, whether through your marketplace or through your own D2C website or app, life is simpler because you are operating in only an ecosystem where information is easily available. You can get that information, you can attribute it to certain activities, certain you are doing, you can attribute that digital marketing spend to at one level top line, bottom line, at other level is on the brand health scores or whatever the KPI that the brand health is giving. I think the bigger issue, complexity comes in when you are in a multi-channel, offline and online competition. That is where, the entire chaos and complexity comes. So it is saying that you run a campaign on digital and you get a good response to your campaign. Plus you are also running something on offline. So to whom should I attribute? Maybe he saw my ad on TV, bought it from quick commerce. Maybe when he or she was scrolling through Insta, saw my 15-second reminder ad, went shopping to the nearby Kirana store or the local convenience store in your complex and bought my product. Now that correlation from where the entire let's say the thought of conversion started and where it finally ended, that's the most difficult part. Yes, in long run, as long as your matrices on your KPIs on P&L, your top line, bottom line, and your brand health scores are improving, that is the last in terms of the report card you will have. There are technologies, there are processes, there are ways and means, but are they 100% foolproof, attributable? It's a difficult question, and the third part to it is a lot of today, especially in the digital world, a lot of the data that you get or the metrics that you get, unless you own that, if it is your own platform, your asset, the reliability is on the higher side. From an advertising point of view, there are no third-party validations which are happening. So there is no BARC equivalent in the digital world. So Google is only telling you, giving you a report that yes, you have got 5 million views. And in a very, on a lighter note, I always maintain, यहाँ चोरी चौकीदार है. Google ने ad चलाया, खुद ही बताया चल गया और खुद ही बताया हाँ जी लोगों ने देखी. So in the first, in the offline world, at least BARC is there. अब वो कितना सही है, गलत है, that's another debate. But at least there is a third-party audit which is happening. So one of the biggest issues, at least in India, I can say, is the validation of data that you are getting from, and hence attribution becomes difficult. But I am sure the way technology is improving over a period of time, we will be able to do far more concise, attribution, targeting, tagging, and obviously easier for, as I said, only digital first, not even digital first, pure D2C or a digital player versus those who are in a combination. And yes, there could be certain segments like, let's say, automobiles, which today have entirely shifted to more or less 90-95% have moved to digital. Now life has become easier for them because it is same like 20 years back, FMCG only on TV. So there's one channel, one P&L correlation there.
You're not mincing words for sure. Thank you. Shirish, from your perspective, how can organizations ensure that digital platforms and data infrastructure are robust enough to support these comprehensive ROI measurements, even what we just heard?
So even there is an ROI factor, right? Because at a very simple level, you can have multiple systems and compare the input and output together. So for example, you can look at some of the media metrics, what are the number of impressions, views that you've got on something, and then a business metric. So if you're a retailer, you can look at footfalls. If you're a product marketer, you can look at items sold. If you're a media company, you can look at visits to your website. So you can correlate a measurable business metric with a media metric as a separate one. If you have to start building a platform to integrate them, then that requires investment. I don't think even major brands today spend money to build those platforms. There are marketing agencies, there are marketing tools that the same agency that is helping you execute a digital campaign can also be integrated with your ERP systems and be able to do that. Then it may be a bit more affordable. But even without it, it's possible to draw a linkage between the spends you've done and the outputs that you've generated or the impact on business that you've generated, be able to at least create thumb rules. You might not be able to have a minutely accurate one. In fact, one of the banes of today's business environment is the wish for digitally attributing, as Kawal sir was saying, that every spend needs to be connected to a sale, and if I don't do it, then I feel uncomfortable or I'm not having that information. Some things can be done at a rule of thumb basis, because bulk of your spend actually can only be justified on that basis. You cannot explain everything on a minute connection between rupee spent to product sold. So I think those are the considerations that I think people should be mindful of today as they think about this question.
They are? Are they mindful?
I don't think so, because as he was saying, right, that the ones who are helping brands spend, and I'm using the word helping, are the ones who are also helping them understand how to view that spend. Right? Therefore, the attention isn't on the business side of things, the attention is on the activity side of things. That I've done an activity, and how do I judge the activity, as opposed to I've incurred a business expense, and what is the business impact I've got. That is a discipline that marketers and brands must do on their own, and hopefully prodded a little bit by their finance people, rather than the place where they are spending that money.
Okay. Both of you, you've worked with large data sets, right? And complex ones too. So these campaigns, so what are some of the most common pitfalls you observed when companies attempt to measure digital ROI, or at the end of the day, and importantly, what are the best practices you have found most effective in overcoming these challenges? I know we've been badgering a lot in terms of how the ROI needs to come, but I'm sure there will be some best practices that you all have seen which actually get you a better ROI, which should be implemented in getting the end result, doing justice to the bottom funnel, as we call it.
If I may, sir. So let me give you an interesting experiment I did while at Godrej. The campaign was offline media, but the measurement was digital. What we had was a callback number across various Godrej divisions, the same common number. The number would disconnect, and you would get a USSD message on your screen. I think many people may not even know what USSD is. It's a basic text format that existed even before 3G and internet came on phone. When you do *121# and the kind of messages, that's USSD. And so it would trigger that message with a menu, and you would make selections. With that, we were able to correlate print advertising, television advertising with products sold. We were able to detect when you advertise one product, how many products did somebody explore because they went back to the menu and clicked a second option. And then it also started telling us which ads, which channels, when we were putting communication, it was generating a response, and which ones it wasn't. So we were actually able to measure even the impact of a full page ad versus a quarter page ad, and judge whether a quarter page ad is good enough or no, it actually brings down sufficient impact. So I think as that example illustrates, as long as you're clear about the metrics and you're able to track them, whenever the spend is substantial, you must invest in tracking it, because it matters. Small spends, yes, you may rely on platform information or other forms of analytics. But if the substantial spend of your budget, you must build the systems, however robust, but certainly sufficient to be able to give you confidence that the money that you're spending is right. Digital systems, of course, give you a much closer in information. So that you should take and do it. But always link all the way to final sale, link all the way finally to your margins, link all the way to percentage of revenue, total revenue, percentage of total spend to total revenue, because those are the final P&L and business metrics. And look at the activities for what they tell you, but build your systems and the robustness for that total metric.
100%.
See, as Shirish said, that whatever is your objective, that needs to be very well defined. And because today in digital marketing, whatever little understanding I have, optimization happens only on one KPI. So if you want to optimize your CPM and CPV, it's a very difficult task. The agency will come back and say, choose one. Either the platform will allow me, CPV optimization or CPM optimization. And hence there needs to be clear-cut team on which is the matrix that you want to optimize. As he said, one would like to get a ROI on each and everything, but larger capitals definitely go through that, the old school habit of going through that algorithm of how data is getting connected, where it can drop, what basic drops or errors can happen. So if you have done your backend well, put up a structure, whether digital, manual, or a combination hybrid, if you are capturing the data, you will be able to at least get that metrics right. The old, computer studies or computer science funda works, it's a, decode, garbage in, garbage out. So if while setting up, you have not been taking the correct, practices or checks and balances in place, whatever data you get will be either corrupted or will not make much of sense. So that is one thing one needs to be sure. The only problem is that earlier, see, all of us, rely on digital data or previous experiences. So earlier, a lot of companies' time as a resource was where there were more or less variables, and for every variable you could, get that incremental. Today, in digital world, there are multiple variables, all are playing together, and hence tracking, robust tracking also calls for a lot of investment. Second is, let's say even 20 years back, your target audience, your cohorts were homogeneous. Today, with the digital media, there's a lot of customization, a lot of smaller cohorts are there. So earlier you would have said, I picked up, let's say, 500 people from Delhi, it's a homogeneous group, whatever they are saying, whether it was a manual survey, it is applicable to the entire population. Today, things can change from one nagar to another nagar or one puri to another puri. Things can be drastically depending on the socioeconomic profile. That is one thing that
My last question. It's basically I'm trying to converge two questions. And so AI is rising. The panel before this also clearly showed it is. Are there any tools, any marketing tools that you all are looking at to optimize ROIs? Have you all come across any, without taking names, or with taking names, whatever you all are comfortable? So are there any specific tools or techniques that you're particularly excited about, that you've come across and is ethical, right? And you are able to implement this in this ecosystem and looking ahead, because that is the future. What are the key opportunities you see for businesses in leveraging this digital transformation, as you call it, to drive measurable outcomes?
So you said there were two questions. They sounded like four. As I look at it from an e-commerce perspective, I think the AI tools that right now are looking like they're reasonably ready and of interest are what I would call infrastructural. So I've seen AI tools, for example, that can allow a shopkeeper to be able to scan the products in their shop and convert that to a catalog. That would take a lot of manual effort, but being able to take an image, being able to match it with databases, and then to be able to convert that into an appropriate catalog description, that's one tool. There's a lot of shopping that we do, which is without knowing the very specific details of the end product. And so you ask an initial set of things, and then you have a conversation that allows you to sharpen that subsequently and get to a product. There are also language gaps. So AI as a shopping assistant, when we go to a shop, often somebody will come up to us and say, can I help you? And we might say, no, we actually don't need it, but we end up asking questions of that person, and they are able to help us and guide us. Right? So that component of shopping, AI can easily take over and do it. And I'm seeing some initial algorithms that people have done and even conversion that are taking place. So I see that as more infrastructure, not so much in marketing, but I've seen certainly in those two ends. So one is to help sellers digitize their catalogs. One is to help shoppers zero in on what they're looking for. Those kind of tools I'm beginning now to see examples of in AI.
So from a marketing point of view, I think the AI tools, without naming them, which could help in implementing today, which are, I would say, hot categories are content creation. So today, especially if you are in digital, you are doing a lot of digital marketing, your content needs to change at a very high frequency compared to the old. You make an ad and it can run for a year and still in digital, as I said, many customizations, many cohorts, and you want to cater. And now that you also have data, the same set of, let's say, a group of consumers, some are interested in movies and some are interested in music. So you might want to change your content. And hence, that is where AI can help. But it will still be dependent on the human because whatever prompt you need to put in, again, the same ego. If you put in the right thing, it will give you the right output. Otherwise, you can mess it up. I think the only thing that one, as corporates or as marketers, we need to keep in mind is the IPR thing. See, at an individual level, it is okay. They allow you to do anything. I'll just give a simple example. Happened recently. We approved the influencer content. It was a micro or small time influencer. We approved this her content on one of our products, and it did not have any background. But when she uploaded it, I don't know what came to her mind, she uploaded a Saregama label, a song as a background. We were not aware of it. Within the very next day, we get a mail from Saregama. There is infringement, right? You did not pay us. So this is one thing that you need to keep in mind, that whatever content is coming out of AI, is it IPR proof? Hope you are not stepping on somebody else's property or their thoughts and idea. That is one of the most dangerous, and I'm sure there are AI tools to kind of check everything, do the checks and balances.
Thank you so much, both of you all, for this honest, I would say brutally honest and insightful session. Thank you so much.